Besides unwinding and fully unclenching, my only goal on this vacation was to find an alligator. Hey, it's Sarah. It's my second full day in Naples, and the plan is to go to the swamp, but first we need breakfast. So we stopped into Winfield. Nothing says vacation like an iced matcha latte, and this one was hitting. We also got Brussels sprouts, which were so yummy, and this very intense breakfast sandwich. We had to fuel up because we were going to the Abaddon Corkscrew Sanctuary. It's a beautiful conservation area with a 3.6-kilometer boardwalk. You're basically walking around a marsh and a wet prairie with a huge overgrown cypress forest. The opportunity to see so many different animals. This salamander was our very first one. Like I said, my only goal was to see an alligator, but I also would have been excited to see any kind of large animal like a deer. Apparently there's cougars in the area, turtles. Our second spotting was this huge, I don't know what it is. If you know what it is, please comment. But this was the size of my hand. There's also tons of birds like this woodpecker. I would have been a little bit more excited to see an owl or something though. We pretty much walked this whole boardwalk in silence. There was no one else around, but we were keeping quiet so that we could see animals. Halfway through walking the boardwalk, we saw this family of raccoons. They are much different from the ones we see in Toronto. They were so skinny. They probably have to fend for their food versus in Toronto, they just go through our trash. But it probably helped to be a little slender because they were climbing these trees so fast. Speaking of the trees, some of these are hundreds of years old. This section was called the cypress forest. At this point, I'm getting discouraged. I'm not going to see an alligator, but it is so pretty, this swamp. You can't even tell where the water in the forest begins in this shot. This is the last animal we saw. It's called the ahinga. I think I'm saying that right, but it's a bird that was currently mating during this time. That's their mating call, and we heard that throughout the entire walk. Sadly, that was the end of our swamp tour, and we headed to a nearby outlet mall. It actually had exciting wildlife of their own. Here are some turtles just in a random pond at the mall. I wasn't really in a shoppy mood, but I did get this Align tank top from Lululemon on sale. I also didn't want to stay too long because it was sunset time. We actually hadn't been to the Naples Pier yet, so I thought this was the perfect opportunity to run down there and catch the sunset. Clearly, I wasn't the only one that had this idea. Is there anything more romantic than the pier and a sunset? But I am just noticing now the extent of the damage on the pier. Just a couple weeks earlier was the massive hurricane that hit Sarasota pretty hard. Naples as well, but not as badly. So although we didn't get to walk along the pier, it was an incredibly beautiful sunset. Like some of these shots just tickle something in my brain, and like shout out to iPhone 16 for capturing it. Afterwards, we drove downtown Naples for a little bit. We didn't stay for dinner because we knew everything would be expensive and just ended up going to Turco Taco. The tacos and the quesadilla were so delicious, but honestly, the standout was the corn. And that concludes day 2 in Naples. We have one more full day, so stay tuned and follow along if you want to see what we get up to.